Alright, time to check out this new update everyone's been talking about.
God damn! When did Alma get all that? Die 1,000 deaths, little bitch!
8-star tempered Gormagala. I need an ambulance, I need an ambulance, I need an adult. Holy fuck! You know, I wanted to do this video earlier, but I got so caught up with Unica coming out to Guilty Gear Strive, and she's like my new favorite character in the game. And then Night Rain dropped, and that just took over my life. But I'm here now, and I really want to talk about what's been going on with Wilds, because the game's headed in such a good direction. The Akuma collab was good, 8-star monsters are really fun, and there are weapon changes that are quite literally revolutionary if you main them. But let's take this one step at a time and start talking about the Akuma collab first. Ain't gonna lie guys, I was really skeptical. Dare I say, I was pretty negative about the whole thing. In fact, my desire to make a video on the update pretty much died down the second that I saw it was gonna be another Street Fighter collab. And when it was revealed to be Akuma, my first instinct was, okay, we just had that in Sunbreak though. Not gonna lie, I wasn't surprised to see Street Fighter coming up because, you know, Capcom really likes Street Fighter 6, and from what I hear, it's a really good fighting game, so they want to promote it, and that's absolutely fine by me. But a feeling of disappointment just came over me when I saw it was Akuma again, because I was like, we just saw him in the last Monster Hunter game, and it was good, it was done. Like, I didn't feel like it was leaving anything to be desired. It was basically a cool layered set for the Sword and Shield mains out there, which just so happens to be me, and I thought it was fun. And when I saw him getting announced back in Wilds, I was just like, why are we getting the same thing again? There's so many Street Fighter characters you could have done. Why Akuma again? But once again, Monster Hunter just loves proving me wrong, and I love them for it so much. Like I said, I didn't want to make a video on this update because I didn't want to just make a, hey guys, let me talk to you about the update when I don't really care about it and push fake content onto you. I think that would be really boring for you and for me. Like, I don't want to pretend to be excited about something that I'm not. And I think you guys deserve content that is at least genuine. But all those worries went away the second I logged into Wilds and played this update, because this collab is amazing. We got some cool interactions with Akuma in the map, kind of like we had with Gerald back in World. And I loved it, you know, it was silly. Like, he beats you up in front of Alma, which must have been a real emotional blow to the Alma fans out there. Your wife who just saw your ass get beat. Good luck getting her to like you after that one. No, for real though, I thought it was fun. I thought it was inventive. I thought it was creative, and it, you know, it captivated my interest, even though I don't even play Street Fighter. Akuma's armor set is its own thing, but before I talk about that, you can use Akuma's layered armor, which is awesome. You can make him look all pretty. Aw, just look at him, isn't he cute? And we got some other cool stuff as well, like the Guild Hunter card pose, where you have, you know, the kanji on your back that Akuma has. But more importantly, we got a pseudo 15th weapon added to Monster Hunter, just like that. My brother in Christ, this isn't even a title update, it was a collab. And we got an interactive item that essentially has its own combat mechanics. Everyone was talking about how they wanted the new 15th weapon to be something like dual pistols or a Reaper Scythe to be edgy. Nope, it's just violence. I don't want to go too in depth about how to use this. I mean, after all, you guys probably have already figured it out by now because, you know, I'm late to this collab video. Plus, there's plenty of other channels that have covered that extensively. Basically, when you got the Akuma armor equipped, you get an item on your bar that you can basically use to just do different combos that are fist-based and inspired by, obviously, Akuma. You can do all sorts of different combos, you can do like this really cool offset, and even in wound execution looks really insanely unique. But I think that the greatest thing about this collab is how hopeful it has made me for the future collabs that we might see. Again, earlier in the video, I said that when I saw this collab, I didn't even want to make a video on it because I was not excited. And all it took was a couple of hours in there, and I just had a blast. I had a really good time. The fact that this is not only something that gives you like a mini storyline and gives you, you know, layered fashion, but it also gives you like new gameplay is insane. I bet Ryozo and Tokura and Fujimoto-san, they were just all laughing their asses off as soon as they saw people's reaction to this thing, because I don't know about you, but they got me good. If this is the standard for collabs that we will get in Wilds, we are eating amazing. This might have some of the best collabs we've ever seen. Collab talk aside, let's talk about something that is more core to Monster Hunter, which is obviously the monsters. If you didn't already know, new 8-star monsters have been introduced to Wilds, namely the Apexes, Saray Dao, New Udra, Ufduna, and obviously my boy Jendahad, as well as, wait for it, Gormagala. Need I remind you that this also applies to the tempered monsters, so if you get a 5-pip 8-star monster quest, you're in for a really good time. Let's have a chat about how how I felt hunting these new versions of these monsters. I don't really have anything to say on Ray Dao because we have Arch-Tempered Ray Dao, so he kind of already had a increase in difficulty. I feel like maybe the devs just wanted to be nice and not leave Ray Dao out of the situation because all the other Apexes got 8-star variants. But since we already had Arch-Tempered Ray Dao, and I know that's gonna go away because it's an event quest, I still don't feel like it was really needed, but I'm definitely not having any problems with it. It's there now and I like it. Now I really love Jindahan. He is my second favorite monster in Wilds. He's awesome. I love him so much, but he definitely felt like the easier out of the bunch. But I think that lays within his moveset. I mean, you know, he's big and slow. It's kind of predictable to see what he's gonna throw at you. And I do like how now more than ever, he really will punish you if he catches you lacking. Like, he can one-shot you if you're not paying attention. And I think that's neat. I think that what I'm gonna be waiting for is the Master Rank version of Jindahan. I think maybe then we're gonna see some cooler stuff and maybe he'll be harder. But for now, I'm definitely really happy to see how he's turned out. Then you got Ufduna, and oh my fucking god, this monster got on my nerves. Just like I said in my monster ranking video, I'm not an Ufduna fan. I don't think it lives up to its Apex brethren, and I think the fight is just a bunch of jumping around and smashing on the ground and belly flopping and whatnot. And the 8-star variant felt exactly like that, but with more belly flopping. But come on, I'd be lying if I said that I didn't have any fun at all. It was cool, but I just don't like the monster that much. I don't like the fight that much, so, you know, I really don't have that much to say on Ufduna. I mean, great, if you like her, fantastic. The fight's better now, in my opinion. Then you got New Udra, who definitely felt like they did more damage, but at the same time, it didn't feel like health-wise it was that different. In fact, I have a hard time explaining how 8-star Ufduna feels to me, because yeah, it feels like it will probably one-shot me if it flops onto me with that big, you know, mantle move that it does. You know, obviously alongside some other moves that it does as well, but it didn't feel as noticeable as the others. But then I think that just speaks to how good the fight actually already is. If anything, when I fight Ufduna, I'm more into the whole spectacle side of things because, you know, it being a cephalopod, it's something that we haven't seen much. And even months after release, I just enjoy seeing how it moves and how it attacks you, and that's something that I feel like doesn't go away for me. I guess what I'm trying to say is I didn't notice major changes because I already like the fight a lot, so that doesn't need to be improved in my opinion. And then we got this guy. What kind of unfiltered crack did we give to Gormagala? It's like bro heard me talk about how I thought that Tempered Mizutune was the hardest fight in Wilds, and he's like, nah, hold on a second. I can't have that. This guy triple carded me when I first went for him in 8-star mode, and then I had to lock in to make sure that I completed the quest. Much like New Udra, my criticism towards Gormagala hasn't really changed much because I liked the fight before. I thought he was decently difficult, but now he is even more so, and I enjoy it. But unlike the giant octopus, this guy's difficulty spike is definitely noticeable. In fact, I go into this hunt thinking that I shouldn't get hit whatsoever, so I just rock full heroics and just go for it. What I said about him in the past still stands. This is my favorite iteration of Gormagala. I played him in For You, I played him in Sunbreak, and this is definitely my favorite version of this monster. Really curious to see what the Master Rank version of him is going to look like, considering this one already hits like a truck and a train. Potentially also a plane. Seeing all of these new monsters and, you know, the rise in difficulty, I'm just sat here thinking, this is more like it. This is a more fulfilling and challenging Monster Hunter experience, and I'm all for it. From now on, when I see people saying Wilds is too easy, I want video proof. I want footage of you defeating an 8-star, 5-strength Gormagala that is tempered in like 6 minutes or less. Otherwise, I'm not believing you, and if you do send that footage, congratulations, you are very good at the game. And I understand, some people might call me a shield. You might say, but Ark, this was how it's supposed to be from the start. I don't think you should defend this. The game should have launched in the States. And I do partially agree with you if you think that way, because I would have preferred the game to launch in the States. However, like I said plenty of times here on my channel, despite the fact that Wilds is one of the easiest games in the Monster Hunter franchise, even at base release form, it has given me a lot of very fond memories. I've had a lot of fun with this game, and that is what it's ultimately about for me. Wilds was already fun, and now it's even more fun and catering to me even more, so it's a W all around. Now, I've been a bit cheeky because I left one of the most important things to last, and this is going to further prove the point that Wilds is headed in a really good direction. That's right, baby, it's time to talk weapon changes. I know, Hammer Bros, you guys have been suffering, and the devs have definitely listened. In this new patch, the Hammer has received some buffs to its base stats all around, but that by itself hasn't quite been enough, or so I'm told from, you know, fellow hunters that main the Hammer. But fear not, my friends, because Title Update 2 is buffing it even further and giving it new moves. Yup, according to some Capcom community managers, one of them being Jono, who I've personally met and I trust with all my heart, the hammer is getting some new tricks up its sleeve coming up when Lagiacrus comes out, and that is just amazing. I'm just happy that you guys don't have to wait until an expansion, because, like, look, I play Lance, I play Gunlance, and in Rise, I had to wait until Sunbreak for these problems to be fixed. And now, hopefully, some of you guys are gonna get the chance to, you know, get a better weapon and have more fun with the game, which is exactly what we want. And just between you and I heard that there's even a new offset being added to the hammer, and that might make me want to try to pick up the weapon, I'm not gonna lie. But while some weapons are getting buffed, others, like the Gunlance, are getting nerfed, and I am totally okay with that. One of my most popular videos ever is talking about how the Gunlance needed improvements after Sunbreak, and I can confidently say that they've made so many progressive changes to the Gunlance that it feels like a brand new weapon, and I love it. And I'm totally cool with acknowledging the fact that it is very powerful. It is a little too powerful, and a couple of nerfs to one of its combos, I think it's the new combo, I am totally okay with that. You guys won't catch me bitching about that whatsoever. That's absolutely fine. In fact, I even think that the Sword and Shield could deal with a couple tweaks downwards as well, because Sword and Shield is really powerful. What I don't like about these new changes, though, is that now the Ardean gun lenses have basically become better than any monster-based weapon. I'm really annoyed by this because, like I've said in one of my videos recently, I don't like the Ardean weapon system. I think it takes away from the core of Monster Hunter. And the Gunlance was not only one of my favorite weapons, but it was also a weapon that escaped the Ardean system because the base Gunlances in the weapon trees were better. Sadly, that is no longer the case. The best Gunlances you can get are all Ardean now, so GG's. But I'm not gonna be too anal about it. I mean, after all, we got confirmation that layered weapons are coming in Title Update 2, so, you know, that helps. It doesn't quite fix the problem for me. I would still prefer, you know, the Ardean weapons to not be as good as the monster weapons, which I think will happen in the Master Rank expansion, but I digress. Overall, this Title Update has taught me that, yeah, being realistic is good, because I wasn't trying to be pessimistic about Wilds. I love the game. I've been saying this for a while, but, like, I think that when the full game is done with a Master Rank expansion, and that expansion is also done, we might be looking at one of the best Monster Hunter games of all time. And this new patch has showed me that this vision becomes more and more real the more the game gets updates. Anyway, that's all I wanted to tell you today. You know the drill. Stay safe, and until we meet again.